Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dimitri Cinema. I'm your host, Dimitri, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming He-Man movie once again. Um, there's some things I found out that I want to address and discuss with y'all. So I want to get into it. So here's the thing. This movie's picking up steam, and it's pretty much cast. Um, so I found out that Idris Elba, which a lot of you probably found out by now, Idris Elba is playing Mad at Arms in the upcoming He-Man Masters of the Universe movie, which is done by Amazon MGM. So it's going to be an Amazon movie, just like Voltron is, and Idris Elba and has been cast as Mad at Arms, who leads the army and one of the protectors of Eternia's Castle Grayskull, and for the king and queen, He-Man's parents, Adam's parents. So to me, this is great news. Okay, first I'm going to say, uh, Camilla Mendez is playing Taylor. Um, Allison Marie is Evil Lynn, playing Evil Lynn. Nicholas Gallat Gallatin's is He-Man. He's been in a couple of things that I'm not really familiar with. Uh, Travis Knight is the director. Not too much bad of a director. Todd Black, um, Jason Plemental, and Robbie Brenner and Steve Tretch are the producers. Uh, Chris Butler wrote the script. And last but not least, they're waiting on Jared Leto as to accept the offer on the table as the cast of Skeletor. Which at this day and age, that wouldn't be a bad idea, I don't think. He did he's with Joker and Suicide Squad, he was uh Morpheus and Spider-Man's, nemesis. Uh he's done a couple of projects. He was in a movie with Denzel. Um he played a killer, and Denzel and another officer was out to try to get him. We remember the movie, I'll bring it up to you. So yeah, I I don't think that's gonna be a bad idea. So here's my thing. I've actually had this idea, one of my ideas for He-Man upcoming movie, and I said if they made a cast, because I sat down and I put this thing together. I've discussed it with my brother, discussed it with some people. Two people who I thought would be a great Man at Arms. First of all, I want to say I'm a big fan of the cartoon. If you don't know, I'm a He-Man fanatic. That was when I was younger in the '80s. My cartoon coming up on He-Man, Thundercats, Transformers, GI Joe, Silverhawks, uh, Voltron. You know, selection. There was so many cartoons coming up in the '80s that were popular, but He-Man was my biggest thing. He-Man and Thundercats was my number one cartoons that I loved. So, I'm a big He-Man fan. I've seen the movie Masters in the Universe in the '80s. I think it was '87, '88, something like that. And Dolph Lundgren was He-Man. That cast, Ralph Frank like Langlina, something like that, was Skeletor. It was a pretty decent cast, and Courtney Cox was in that. So that one, I had no choice but to like it because I love the cartoon. So it was like, but there was some things in that I felt like when I got older and I went back and watched it again, I felt like they should have. they could have changed and done a little bit differently. He-Man, so instead of having Orko in there, they had like a wizard little guy who was just supposed to take the place of Orko. You also put Orko in there because it's kind of the same thing. This little guy was dealing with magic. He made a key that was through in time, uh, was supposed to, take you back and forth through Eternia, through different dimensions, different places, and Earth. You know, He Man and Tila and Man at Arms got a hold of the guy, the little wizard, and found out that he had a key that could take them back and forth from Eternia to Earth, and it ended up taking them to Earth, which took Skeletor and his evil villains to Earth to go after He-Man. Evil Lyn was supposed to went after him. He sent Evil Lyn to go get him and bring He-Man back because he wanted He-Man to be his slave. Bow to him. And Skeletor was trying to take over the universe. He was trying to take over Castle Grayskull and the whole universe. And he had this power through this his what I can't think of his like weapon, whatever. Um, at some point, he was going to use it, and it was going to supposed to turn him to like a god, like make him more powerful than what he was, which will make him, which make him resilient to He Man. So they go, and He Man and his crew go to Earth, run into Courtney Cox because she's in danger because now Evelyn and Skeletor's crew is after Beastman, and all of them are after her, and He Man has to help her and save them and protect them on the urge of trying to find the key to get back to Eternia. So then they run into Evil Land. He's fighting them. Then finally, Skeletor realizes that Evil Land isn't succeeding in his plan. So now he comes at the last minute and he tweaks the plan and they end up capturing He-Man and everybody. And then everybody with the key goes back to Eternia. And that's when the final battle between Skeletor and He-Man comes together because one of the police officers and his crew they use the key and get them over there too. And now it's everything is the plan. It's just Skeletor gets that a hold of that power and he uses it, and He Man gets a hold of breaks loose and gets a hold of his sword, and now it's an even match. And which technically wasn't supposed to be even match. Skeletor is more powerful at that point, but He Man is He Man, and he beats Skeletor. Well, he breaks the weapon and it turns Skeletor back to the original Skeletor. And then they fight. Skeletor fights him again, pulls out his sword, tricks him. Then He Man wins the battle, and they get in the sword fight, and He Man knocks him down all the way down into this hole, whatever. So He Man wins. Everything's back, and Courtney Cox and her boyfriend, well, not boyfriend, but friend, they were together like friends on Earth. He came. He of course he was with them when they came to Eternia and Grayskull. So they go back and they have something that reminds them of He Man and the thriller that they went through. So that was that movie. The only thing I felt like when I watched it later on, went back and watched it, I felt like, hey, if they would have wrote the story just based in Eternia, I think that would have been better because the cartoon is Eternia. It's no Earth. They don't go to Earth at no point through the whole series of that cartoon in the 80s. So I just felt like trying to put Earth in there as a you know spiced it up, actually spiced it down. I mean, Yeah, some of these movies, Back to the Future, you got some of these movies that are like go back in time. And you got some of these movies where multi-universe, and you got some of these movies where you have aliens coming to Earth, or and you have, some of them work, but some of them don't. You have the Lost World, which was the dinosaurs getting in the city. I didn't think that was a good idea. When they did the first Jurassic Park, that was awesome. That's in the park, out in uh Costa Rica, island off path of Costa Rica, and John Hammond had this island, and it had this park, and it was like fantasy. It was like real dinosaurs and stuff. I feel like that was amazing when it was first brought to the table. You've seen dinosaurs that look real. The CGI was amazing. But then the Lost World's like, oh, let's bring them to the city at the end. No, man, I wasn't with that. So here's my thing with and that's the same way I felt with He Man. No, make the movie based in Eternia because the cartoon's based in Eternia through the whole series. I hope they don't do that with this upcoming movie. I really hope that I hope they don't follow the blueprint from the '80s one, Masters of the Universe. Don't do that. Just keep it in Eternia. Don't make no, just just don't bring them to the city. I don't think that would be a good idea. So when I talked to my brother, I was talking about my cast for He Man, who I would like. Of course, I told y'all before in one of my streams that about the He Man movie. I said Alan Richardson would be a great He Man, hands down. He's the guy. I feel like he's He Man. Let him put on 40 more pounds of muscle, and he's good. Because He Man is big. He's barbaric. He's a muscle sized big guy, like a bodybuilder. So you got to have that figure. You know what I mean? The Rock is not a blind guy. Don't have blonde hair. He's not a white guy. I don't think he would be good as him. If he was white, then yeah, you know, Chris Hemsworth is already Thor. I don't like that two things, Thor and He-Man. No, you're Thor. He already took the. If he wasn't Thor, then yeah, he would be a great He-Man. Uh, Somebody said a long time ago that Channing Tatum would be a good He-Man. I was like, maybe no. But everybody has their thoughts about who could play this and who could be this character, who would be good, how you feel, or whatever. So we all entitled our own opinion. That's the great thing about this. But I feel like Alan Richardson would kill it. Alan Richardson, if y'all don't know, he's in Reacher series. He was in one Fast and the Furious 10. He's well known. He's a great actor, and I just see He Man all over him. I said Benicio del Toro would be great Skeletor because del Toro, he's got that evil, sinister look to him. Benicio del Toro was Wolfman, Sicario. He's been in a lot of movies out there. He's well known for the movies he's been in. He's been big movies. I think he would be a great. I feel like he'd be great Skeletor. Because Skeletor's got that funny back in the day uh evil laugh. Yeah, He Man, I got you, He Man. Like that. Same Mumra's got this evil ancients of evil. Come into Mumra, the everlast. That they had their own patent signature laughs and evil laughs and stuff with it. And I've seen uh Benicio del Toro and Wolfman with Anthony Hopkins cast on the side with him, played his father, and both of them were actually Wolfmans, and Benicio del Toro got bit by one, and which was his father, and he realized he was cursing. He was turning to Wolfman. He was out killing it, and he was trying to stop it. But Anthony Hopkins was like, "Embrace it. You're part of this now." At the end, they end up fighting and all that. But Benicio del Toro is a scene in there where he's already good playing a villain. He's scary. there's a scene in there where he's kind of like chained up, and they're like it's a bunch of people. It's like a jury around him, bunch of people in a circle formed around, and he, you know, they're trying talking about killing him, and he's like, at some point, he's like, "Kill me, you idiot, because I'm going to kill y'all if you don't." And when it gets a full moon, but the way he says is a scene where he's like, "Ah, you idiot! I will kill all of you!" The voice and how he took that voice and kind of make brought that voice to life of because he was changing at the time, and I could kind of hear and sense that Skeletor filled with it. That's what one of the ways reasons I felt like he would be a good Skeletor. And then start thinking about his work. He's really good. He's dark. You see him in Sakara, he scares you. He's you see him in Wolfman. You just it's art. Skeletor's iconic character, iconic evil villain. I could just see that. And Skeletor, Benicio del Toro Skeletor, I felt like I think it was Jennifer Gardner I said would be a great sorceress by now. Sorceress was always like an older leader. Uh, she was also supposed to be watch over Grayskull. She was like the key to Grayskull and Eternia, and she was the sorceress. And the movie, the '80s Masters of the Universe movie, um, she was also the key. And she was they had an older lady play her, and I just felt like Jennifer Gardner. Not saying she's real old, but she's getting up there. But she would bring that presence, that toughness, tough woman, older woman to it. Because you can't get Glenn Close. Glenn Close is like 91 and a half now. Michelle Pfeiffer's too old now to do these. You could just say Charlie Theron, but Charlie Theron was also in the Seven Dwarfs with Chris Hemsworth, where she played like the evil queen, whatever. So she's been in stuff that's similar to it. So kind of, to me, you're gonna look at her like that. I think Jennifer Garner would be a great sorceress. I feel like He Man's parents, the prince, Adam's parents, uh, Gerald Bro- Gerard Butler would be a great king playing Adam's parents, and um, oh, I can't think of this woman's name, but she was in the next Karate Kid. She was in the boxing movie called something baby. I'll think of her name. It'll come to me. But yeah, so I felt like that, and then I said when I got to Mad at Arms and Tila, I said two people could play Mad at Arms. Daniel Craig is one of them. I felt like he'd be a good Mad at Arms because Mad at Arms, the older guy who's the general, that's uh the leader of the war group that's protecting Castle Grayskull and Eternia. Like he's like the guy. He's well skilled and trained in the battlefield. Weapons, their weaponry specialists, all that. And his daughter Tila, they both of them travel Eternia, watching over Eternia, making sure scoping Eternia like for battles, and people try to come in like Skeletor and any other evil person that tries to come in through Eternia and take over Castle Grayskull. They are the head protectors over that. But she sticks with her father, which in the cartoon, I think he's her stepfather. But so I said Daniel Craig or Idris Elba, because Idris Elba's in Thor movies. He's got his whole that whole aura with him fits Mad at Arms. I felt like he would be great as Mad at Arms. A little older now, he could play a role. Yeah, he's black. In the cartoon, Mad at Arms is white, but he could fit. He could definitely fit that role, and you know, at some point they was talking about him playing James Bond, the new Bond. I don't know what went through what happened with the projects going through with that, but he could play a weapon specialist. He's and then the girl from which I could think of her name. Of course, I'm doing this. She played in Avatar, the black girl from Avatar, and I think she played Columbia, which was she played a movie called Columbia. I felt like she would be great for his daughter, and I just kept going through the cast. I think I said something about the Beast Man. The Rock would be good playing Beast Man, or John Cena would be good playing the Cyclops guy. I can't think of his name. Like far as like Skeletor's henchman, uh, Evil Lynn. I said the girl from Jurassic World, the Jurassic World movies. Chris Pratt's girlfriend in the movies. Of course, I can't think of her name now, but I said she would be a great Evil Lynn. I seen that fitting her. You need a pretty girl who could just. Evil Lynn's thing is she's a manipulator. She tricks people. She's got beauty with her, but she's evil. She's one of Skeletor's highest, um, s- one of part of his group, his soldier, whatever. So I went down a line of different people that would be good playing certain characters in that movie, but Idris Elba was one of them. And when I seen it, the information I got, which was on Google, it was on TM Stars, it was going on all over. The information about Idris Elba playing Mad at Arms. I said, "Whoa, did somebody hear me when I did my stream?" But yeah, not a bad. That's pretty good if you think about it. And like I said, Jared Leto is Skeletor. It ain't Benicio. He's not Benicio del Toro, but he's played evil villains, evil characters in some of his movies. Like I said, the Joker. I don't know if y'all like that. Joker or not in Suicide Squad. My favorite Joker will always be uh, Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson. After that, that's it. Joaquin Phoenix, I think he did good as Joker, but I think he actually would have been a better Riddler. But yeah, Jared Leto, it's not a bad idea right now for what you know the actors selection going on right now. He's not a bad idea to play Skeletor. Um, I also thought about I can't think of the guy's name, but he was in the Matrix. He was Neil's arch enemy, Mr. Anderson. When I can think of his name, it'll come back. But he also played Red Skull in the Captain America movie, which wasn't bad. He would have been a good Skeletor also, but he was Red Skull, so he already played like a Skeletor looking person, a skeleton type deal. Yeah, so yeah, I said I'm excited. I'm pumped up. Um, am I excited about Voltron and He Man going straight to like Amazon movies? No, that's the only thing I'm not excited about. But hey, I take what I can get at this point. I wish they go straight to theater. Those are to me theatrical movies. They should be playing in the theater. I'm old school. I'm not with this streaming movies to straight to Netflix and Amazon. They're buying the projects. I wasn't with that Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley going straight to Netflix. I felt like that should have been a theater movie. We all came up on Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, 3 in the theater. So certain iconic movies that went on for decades, I feel like they should need to come out in the theaters. But then some of these movies are so bad, it's like, maybe those should have been the one stream, you know. But it's yeah. So thank you, Amazon, because at least you're picking up the project. I mean, the project's been sitting around for a decade. He-Man, Master of the Universe. Each year, you hear talks about it. Oh, it'll be 2023, 2021, 2018, 2021, 2021, 2024. Like they push it back 3, 4 years, like, and you never hear anything about it. To the point they got to just did a Netflix series, He-Man series, cartoon series on Netflix, and He-Man was supposed to be in a Netflix movie coming up, and the project, I don't know what happened with that. But Amazon sees that Netflix is doing certain things, like the Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley going straight to the now Amazon's doing it. Um, and they're doing like big projects that people have been waiting for a long time. So Mad at Arms. So what? Go back for you. Those that don't know about much about Mad at Arms, go back and watch the '80s cartoon on YouTube. If you never watched He-Man, and you'll see certain things about Mad at Arms. He's always in the mix of stuff. He-Man, Mad at Arms. I may need your help. Oh, no problem, He-Man. You got to let me know what needs to be done. You know what I mean? Like he's He-Man's right hand guy. Also, He-Man is like the ultimate champion, ultimate warrior. He's like Hercules. Like he's like Eternia's savior. Like Superman was the world's savior in the comic world and in the superhero world. Um, so of course he's not He-Man or bigger than He-Man, but he's like their best soldier, their best weapon specialist. You know what I mean? So this is going to be fun to see Idris Elba play him. The guy Nicholas or whatever, not really big fan. Um, so I'm not sure how he's going to play out with He-Man, but you know, it is what it is at this point. So, uh, but yeah, we're gonna see how this turns out. So, get ready, He-Man Masters of the Universe coming to Amazon. Voltron coming to Amazon. All 70s, 80s, late 70s, 80s cartoon. Then we got the projects for. But you guys, tell me what you think. Comment on it, subscribe if you like it, and I'll get back to you more about it. And in the meantime, stay watching movies. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, wonderful week, and I'll be back. Thank you.